My name is Cliff Walker, and I'm the Deputy Executive Director of the Texas Democratic Party. For you, the internet, I'm going to provide a public service, and in this case, it's reading the wacky things that Republicans have said recently so that you don't have to. It's an oldie but goodie at this point. We've seen it, we've laughed, we've cried given the nature of the representation that we have in the state of Texas. But here's a classic. John Cornyn referring to the coronavirus and making light of what is one of the worst health crises to hit the globe and our species in 100 years by laughing and comparing it to the beer. When MJ Hager is our U.S. Senator, one of the things that will be at the top of my head, and I'm sure actual voters out there, that this is something that John Cornyn thought was funny. Here's one thing I'll give John Cornyn. He really foresaw what was going to happen with the Trump administration. If there's anything that really shows that the Republican parties are united on, they're not united on everything. Apparently, Mussolini is a figure of celebrity within the Republican ranks. Oh, this is precious. Oh, pop pop. Chuck Schumer tweets in August of last year, July was the hottest month of any month on record, and says that climate change is the greatest threat facing our planet. John Cornyn, who shows a real command of the seasons, says it's summer, Chuck, which he's right. I can't deny that it's summer. He may have missed the whole point of the fact that it is literally at the time, the hottest month ever of any month in the history of keeping tabs of how hot months are. But he said it's summer. So we pay this person. This person is in charge of taxing and making laws and sending people to war. And it's time. It's time, Dan. It's time to cancel culture. But is it then time to cancel culture? But then if we do that, then who's going to cancel culture? Think about it. So let me get this one straight. Democrats are trying to steal the election by doing a thing that's called voting. And doing more voting than Republicans, which would get us more votes than Republicans, which will win the election, which Dan Patrick doesn't think is a possibility. So he says that's stealing the election. I think it is quite possible that Republicans do think that we owe Donald Trump an apology if Democrats want to vote. So Louie Gohmert very famously said, I am not wearing a mask. And then at some point said, okay, well, if I ever got coronavirus, then I would definitely wear a mask. And then he gets the coronavirus. And the reason that he thinks that he got it is because he got it from the germs that might have been in the mask. He should have specifically asked for the mask without coronavirus. But thankfully, he is relying on anything but big government for his healthcare, except for the federal government, for which all of us are paying taxes. They're paying for his quite luxurious, high-quality healthcare, which, it's not that he shouldn't have it, but that maybe we should do. I don't even know what to do with that. It's so weird, right? I can't believe I find myself agreeing with Ted Cruz that he's going around saying this apparently with some frequency, that Democrats would crawl over broken glass to vote against Donald Trump. I would crawl over broken glass to vote against Trump. I don't want to crawl over broken glass, but if you ask, in order to vote, you got to crawl over broken glass. Here's the upside. We don't have to do that. Early voting ends on October 30th. You should just check mytexasvotes.com to figure out where you should go vote and the hours that those polling locations are open. Broken glass, entirely optional. I'm going to decline the broken glass. Thankfully, it's easier now more than ever to vote against John Cornyn. We'll have to wait a little bit to vote against Ted Cruz, but we'll be able to do that soon enough. You may have noticed as we were going through the tweets that we did not include a tweet from real Donald Trump. The reason is there's no way to really encapsulate the most flagrantly weird, wrong, hateful, bad. I'm out of synonyms. You can't really narrow it to just a handful of tweets. But we'll just leave you with this one. The Texas Democratic Party released a poll, which was evidently very distressing to the president, who, if you haven't noticed, is generally distressed. What we found was that Biden was actually up in the great state of Texas 50-49. And I think the president saw that poll. And he tweeted that Biden is, among other things, against religion, which he may not know that Biden is actually Catholic. But if anyone knows religion, it's the man who doesn't know which way to hold up a Bible. But he's actually held one in his hands. He did have to tear gas a peaceful protest in order to do that. But, he is, if anyone knows religion. And he says that we are winning big, all in caps, winning big in the real polls all over the country. This is the caps. November 3rd, vote. We don't really see eye to eye with this president very often. But on this one, do vote.